friends, what's going on? This is David Potts with Song Notes, and a quick warm-up exercise for you today, right? This is going to be based on the Colter Wall song, Sleeping on the Blacktop. This song is featured in the movie Hell or High Water. Great movie, great song. Colter Wall's a great artist. And this little warm-up exercise, I'm going to be deviating from Colter Wall a little bit just to sort of make this more accessible. I'm going to be in standard tuning, no capo, so I'm going to be simplifying a few little parts of it too. So it'll be a great little exercise to get you going. If you don't know Colter Wall, definitely check him out. But if you're looking to learn this song, this will get you on your way 80% of where you need to go, all right? And there's really two parts I'm going to show you, right? You have this distinctive walk down part. It's pretty low key, right? It's kind of like the verse, kind of the build up, where you start, where you end. And it's all about building up that tension, right? Before the dam breaks. And then after the dam breaks, I'm going to show you this part, right? Where you sort of letting the energy out and the genie out of the bottle, or whatever your metaphor is, right? So I'm going to show you both those parts. I'll also show you the chords you're going to need, because you're going to need about 5 or 6 chords, and it's good to have those sort of under control, because once you have those, you can sort of, you know, finger pick them however you want, but you want to have all those building blocks together. So let's get into the lesson. As always, check out playsongnotes.com if you want to find the nice handcrafted PDF I have for this lesson. It's a great little resource for you to follow along with during this video and also after you're done watching this video, right? So I have many other lessons as well. You can find them all on my website. But let's get on into this thing. So we're going to be in standard tuning, okay? I'm going to be no capo. Colter Wall plays this. He plays this capo 2nd fret, and I think his guitar is tuned down a whole step. I'm not going to get into any of that right now. I want to keep it nice and straightforward. Okay, now let's look at the chords we're going to need. There's a handful of them here, right? Now we're going to be finger picking here. So let's start on this normal G, as I call it, right? Now the way you're going to want to play this is you're going to want to have your middle finger on this low E string, 3rd fret. And you see for all the chords here, this middle finger, this left middle finger, is going to be on this note, okay? So that's sort of going to be the home base for that finger. Now, we're going to put our left pinky on this 3rd fret of the B string, right? So we put our middle finger here, our pinky finger here, and then we're going to leave the 3rd and 4th strings open. So I'm just sort of grabbing them with my thumb, index, middle, and ring finger. So this is what I'm going to call the normal G, right? It's normal, it's based on the G major chord, right? But we're only playing the 6th, 4th, 3rd, and 2nd string. Now, the other G you're going to need, I'm calling this a blues G. You also could call it like a minor G, G minor. It's basically going to be the same thing, but we're going to put our ring finger down on the 3rd fret of the 3rd string. Right? So the 3rd fret open, or 3rd string open would sound like this, and then 3rd string with 3rd fret sounds like that. Now listen to the difference in this sound versus this sound, right? Right, this one actually is, I think it's technically, it's the flat 3rd, so it's the blue note in the G blues, minor blues scale. I'm going to call it the blues G here, but then this would be the sort of major G, or really this is like a power chord G. But these are the first 2 Gs you want to know, okay? Now the other 3 actually are going to be based on this walk down. Now the good news is that your middle finger and your pinky finger are staying perfectly still here. All that's going to happen is your ring finger is going to come into a different string, and then your index finger is going to come into play too. So the first of these is going to be this one here on the far left. We're basically going to put our ring finger down on the 3rd fret of the 4th string. Okay, so we're going to have 3rd fret on the 6th string, 3rd fret on the 4th string, and then 3rd fret on the 2nd string with our middle, ring, and pinky fingers, okay? Okay, and then the next chord we want to be able to switch to seamlessly is to basically, on that 4th string, we're going to want to lift up our ring finger and then put down our index finger on the 2nd fret. So 3rd on the low E string, 2nd fret on the 4th string, and then our pinky is in its home base there on that 2nd string. And you really want to capture the difference of this first walk down chord to this second walk down chord, right? Only one string's different, but but you can hear that the walk down starting to sound itself out. Now the next one's going to be the toughest chord of the bunch because you're going to be stretching. Basically what you need to do is stretch your index finger up here to the first fret on the 4th string. This is going to be tough to do. You're going to have to like probably move your middle finger. It's going to have to kind of move up as well, but you want to keep it on that 3rd fret. So realistically, when I play this chord, this is how my fingers look. Notice how this one is barely still on the 3rd fret, and this one is barely on the 1st fret, right? You got to make this weird, awkward triangle, but you have to get this stretch going. So it's give this one some time. It's not going to come immediately, but you want to sort of get your hand used to that transition. But that's going to be the chords we're going to need, right? Now let me look at these. Let me show you these walk down tabs here. The basic idea of these, fundamentally, is we're going to be using our right thumb on the 6th string and on the 4th string. So if we go to that 1st walk down chord, right? And we just look at this measure. Let's just repeat this measure right here. All we're going to be doing with our right thumb is going between the 6th string and the 4th string. And just worry about those 2 strings at first, right? We're going to bring in the 3rd string in a little bit, but let's worry about just this pattern first. Get your right thumb used to doing this pattern, right? When you feel comfortable with it, what I want you to do is practice going to that 2nd walk down shape, right? Now before we go to the 3rd walk down shape, go back up and just get comfortable going between these first 2 walk downs. You can sort of switch it up as fast as you want, or you can stay on each shape a little bit longer if you want, right? So I'm on the 1st shape, I'm going down to the 2nd shape. Okay, so that's the basic idea. And it's going to be just the same when we go down to that 3rd shape. Then we're going to go back down to the normal G. Ooh, I went early there. Let's start back on the 1st, right? Do it twice, and then do this one. And then go to the hard one, and then go to the normal G, right? Okay, so that's basically how that section is going to work. Now there's one thing we're going to want to do, if you can, which is to basically bring in your right index finger on the 3rd string open, right? So open meaning we're not going to press anything with our left hand on that 3rd string. And what we're going to want to do for each of these chords is play the bass note little pattern twice. So 1, 2. And after the 2nd time we finish the thumb pattern, we're going to play on our right index finger that open 3rd string, right? So it's 1. Then go to the next chord. So I'm doing each shape twice. Okay, start at the beginning again. You'll notice I was sort of buckling under the weight there. So that's kind of the first thing you want to get used to, is just going between these 4 measures. And you do each measure 2 times before you go to the next one. And then you just sort of, you can repeat that as much as you want. You kind of want to get just nice and comfortable with that groove, right? Now, the 2nd time you go through that whole walk down, instead of going to that 4th measure like you normally did with the open G or the regular G, instead of doing that, we're going to go straight to the main riff. Now let me show you this main riff, okay? Because this is where the real groove happens here. So, how I would recommend practicing this is you want to have your sort of regular G as your home base. Just kind of think of this as like your where you're starting and where you're stopping, right? I'm going to teach you these little rhythm figures one at a time here. The first rhythm figure looks like this, right? This first measure. Go back to the G and just chill on the G, and then so what we're going to do here is just sort of play this little first measure once and then go back to this G, right? So what's happening here in this first measure is I'm gonna have the pulsing thumb like normal, but on the 2 count, what I'm gonna do, instead of playing the 4th string open, I'm gonna put my fingers down for that minor G shape and just go a pluck with my right index and middle fingers. And then, after that pluck, for the 3 and count and the 4 count, I'm gonna lift up my ring finger and then play the open 3rd string and open 4th string. So if I just worried about my fingers right here, my right hand, index and middle, it would be 1, 2, so 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4, right? 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2. That's all my right index and middle fingers are doing. Then you just bring in the pulsing thumb and write 1, 2, 3, and 4. 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 Okay? Get good at that by itself. And again, I recommend practicing going in and out of this basic G. So do this G a couple times and then just do that first measure 1 time, right? Here we go. Now. Then go back to the G, right? And then again. This way you're just sort of tearing off 1 page at a time. And then you kind of come back to that home base and you kind of can get used to keeping the groove, right? Now let's look at the second measure here. The second measure, what we're gonna do is keep our our left pinky where it is in that 3rd fret, and we're gonna want to put our index finger on this 1st fret of the 5th string, and then our middle finger down on the 3rd fret of the 5th string. Okay, so 5th string from 1st to 3rd, from 1st to 3rd. And then in between each of those, we're going to play open 3rd string and then 3rd fret 2nd string. Right? Okay, and just like before, we want to practice this in isolation. Maybe we just start with that regular G, and then we go into this. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Regular G. Okay. Now, once you have those two, what you can do is do those first 2 measures, right? So let's just start with the regular G, and then we'll go to that first measure and then the second measure. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, ready, go. Then chill out at the regular G, right? Then build it up again and get ready to do it all over again. 1, 2, ready, go. Regular G, right? So again, the whole idea here is this is a general practice tip, is start off with something, your home base groove, which is nice and relatively simple, right? This simple G. And then as you learn these little phrases, these 1 measure phrases, practice going from the easy, groovy, just baseline measure into these phrases and then back to your baseline. And then add a phrase 1 at a time, right? And then that's a great way to learn. Because if you try to learn this whole sequence, all 8 measures in a row, it's going to be tough. You're going to mess up. You're going to be messing up in multiple places, and you're never really going to get used to being comfortable with things, or at least it'll take you a lot longer, in my opinion and experience here. So basically, you're going to do that first and second measure I just showed you. Then you repeat the 3rd measure is the same as the 1st. And then let's look at this 4th measure here. The idea is it's very similar. We're going to go. Okay, so it's very similar to that second measure in that you're going from the 5th string, 1st to 3rd fret. But in between, you're going to play an open 3rd string. Right? 1 and 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2, 3, 4. And let's go into it from the regular G. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, ready, go. Messed up. Let's do that again. 1, 2, ready, go. Repeat it. Okay, so whether you're repeating it sort of tightly or you're repeating it, you're playing it once, giving it a measure break, and then repeating it again, either way, you'll be fine. Just sort of take it slow. So the first 4 measures would just be this then. The great part is the next 4 measures are the exact same with one difference. The only difference is the last measure is going, all we're going to do is replace those, instead of going from 1, you know, 1st fret to 3rd fret on the 5th string, we're going to go 3rd fret to 1st fret. Everything else stays the same, right? That's how you started off the first time, and this last time is, okay? So the last 4 measures would look like this. That's not right. Right, then you're back at that home bass G. Okay, so there you basically have it. Now what I'll do here is I'll play the whole sequence, walk down included, with this main riff, then I'm going to go back to the walk down. And I'm going to sort of just kind of just show you what it's like to sort of live in this groove, right? The walk down, again, is the more chill out thing. It's where you want to start, where you want to end. It's your home base when the water is chill, and then you kind of erupt from it with this main riff, and then you retreat back to the groove. So again, it's been a great little fun riff to practice. Remember that you can get the PDF printout for this at playsongnotes.com, but I'm going to play this one out here. I hope you liked it. I have lots of other Colter Wall songs on my channel, so check those out, and thanks for watching, y'all. So I'm going to play this one out. Have a great one. Bye-bye.